Yeah.
We are sitting here at Derrick. Danny, can you tell everybody where you're from and what tattoo shop you work at?
Yeah, I live in San Luis Obispo, California, and I own the San Luis Tattoo Company, which is my private studio that I own and operate.
What kind of tattoos do you typically focus on?
They're rooted in traditional American with like a little bit of a refined edge. It's not like old school traditional, but some illustrative influence and sometimes a little bit of Japanese influence.
About how long have you been tattooing?
This is my 10th year tattooing.
Have you always tattooed in California?
I did my apprenticeship in Georgia, and I've tattooed outside of California, but I've been based in California as a professional tattooer pretty exclusively.
If you could somehow go back in time and give an apprentice version of Derrick some advice, what would you tell him?
I would tell myself to kind of slow down at the beginning. I found myself kind of like biting off more than I could chew when I was like first and second year and doing pieces that were a little bit outside of my reach artistically and technically. That would probably be the number one thing, like slow down, do things that are within your realm.
What would you be doing if you never... How did you get into being a tattoo artist?
I was getting tattooed by my buddy Craig Beasley a lot in like 2005 and 2006, and he would fly out from Georgia here to California and tattoo me, and he would come out like once or twice a year because he had family that lived here in town, and I would get tattooed by him and decided I wanted to show him some of my drawings and let him know that I was interested in learning, and he gave me some critiques, and I asked him if he would teach me to tattoo, and he had me move out to Georgia, and I started my apprenticeship, and I spent a couple of years out there in Valdosta.
What would you be doing if you didn't do that?
Who knows? I was doing music stuff at the time. I might have pursued that a little heavier, but that's rarely a full-on like career for most people, and it's a very hard industry. I have no idea.
What instrument do you play?
I play bass.
What kind of band do you play in?
Yeah, hardcore punk.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
It seems like a lot of seminars and conferences are popping up.
Mm-hmm.
They're occurring a lot at conventions.
Yeah.
What do you think about the sharing of information? What are your thoughts on them? Have you been invited to participate in any, or would you be interested in it?
I haven't really participated in any. I've attended them. I attended the Chris Kahn seminar in like 2010 in San Francisco. I think I've taken a couple other seminars, but Russ Abbott's color theory seminar, I think they're great. I think the sharing of information in that way, where it's a very tailored audience to professional tattooers, and it's not something that's just out there for anyone. But nowadays, every line is blurred when it comes to that kind of thing, so it doesn't really matter where I stand on it. It's going to be what it is.
In the past 10 years, tattooing has changed quite a bit. In your opinion, what's the best way it's changed and what's the worst way?
The best way is the accessibility of seeing other artists' work and artists being able to expose their artwork to potential clients through Instagram and internet and things like that. The ways it's changed in a negative way, maybe an oversaturation of tattooers in general, but at the same time, that's something that's going to filter itself out, I feel, on its own. I don't see any impact personally from it.
Do you feel like that occurs because more social media?
Totally, and it's just become so much more mainstream that it's a lot more acceptable. A lot more people are getting tattooed, so more people are pursuing tattooing as a career, when 10 years ago it was more of a fringe type job and it wasn't something that such a high volume of people were doing. And it's one of the very few careers in art that people can really make money at. So I feel a lot of people that are artistically capable, will maybe gravitate toward that because it's something sustainable that they could do.
Between social media and the TV shows, it's becoming a lot more mainstream than it was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Have you been invited onto any of the TV shows?
Yeah, I think most tattooers once a year get an email from the competition shows asking if they want to participate. I've gotten those a couple times, and I usually turn them down. There was one season where I started to entertain the idea of maybe doing it, but I kind of sat down and talked to some of my peers about it and came to the realization that shows like that tend to be, the goal of them is to kind of expose your weaknesses and your downsides, and there's a producer who's deciding how you're going to be portrayed to the world. And tattooers spend their entire career only trying to showcase their strengths and what they're best at. And I feel it would be very counterproductive, at least for me, to go on something where someone else is in control of how I'm portrayed and put me in a situation where I had to do something unethical or put out work that was subpar just because it was on television. So
that makes sense. I think a lot of times what actually happened isn't what actually occurred.
Oh yeah.
I mean, how it's portrayed on TV isn't what actually happened in real life.
Yeah, I think it would be better suited for tattoo artists to document their own work instead of having some kind of, production team film them. There's YouTube, they could vlog, they could tailor, they could be their own producer and show themselves and show their work how they want to if they wanted to go that route. And I don't think it's really necessary to go on a TV show. Plus, people don't really watch TV that much anymore.
And the social media backlash.
Yeah, totally.
I think a lot of the people who go on those shows, while it can be beneficial for their career, I wouldn't want to deal with the negativity from the social media.
Yeah, there's definitely that side.
So, have you traveled over to Europe at all?
Not for tattooing. I have.
Do you know anything about the European tattoo culture over there?
Not outside of like the artists that I follow.
Do you have an opinion on the difference between how the European tattoo culture is versus culture here?
I don't notice a huge difference. I know there are some styles that are more prevalent over there than are here, but with Instagram, like everybody sees everything, and I feel like there's less of a difference. Maybe like 10, 20 years ago, there was a very noticeable difference, and even regional differences within the United States. But I don't know. I'm sure there are some styles that are exclusive to Europe, but
I wasn't sure if you pay attention to that. So probably
I don't really. I follow mostly, if they're European tattooers that I follow, they're probably traditional in style.
In regards to the pieces that you do you typically do a lot more single shot pieces or a lot more large scale?
I do mostly one session.
Do you enjoy doing that more?
Totally.
Is there a reason why?
Instant gratification. I get to see it finished. I get to, snap a picture, and I don't have to like wait months. And like, I've done large scale work, and I have a lot of large scale pieces in progress right now, but I like that instant gratification of sitting down and just knocking it out, and then it's done. I don't have to have it in the back of my mind for months. And
you work in a private studio alone in a small town.
Yeah.
Is there a reason why you work in a private studio? Why do you enjoy it?
I worked in several different street shops before opening this private studio, and I guess for me, I work better in this environment. I get distracted easy, so not having a shop full of people helps me focus, and I like to provide a comfortable, relaxed atmosphere for my clients, and I'm kind of a control freak in that way. I like to control the environment that I work in as well, and so those would be the three reasons I do that.
The town that you tattoo in is, to me, it was a very small town.
Yeah.
I would imagine, do you have a lot of people that come in from out of town?
Yeah, I'd say at this point the majority of my clientele are non-local. They come from, around the state, whether it's Los Angeles area or the Bay Area, Central Valley. Some people fly, like yourself, but I do have a local clientele as well.
Do you enjoy being in the tight-knit community here?
Definitely.
More than a major city?
Yeah, I mean, there are things about big cities that I like, but I have, my social circle is here, all my friends, my family lives nearby and everything, so does my wife's family. So I like that aspect of this area mostly, is the people.
Any major projects coming up? Any places you're going to?
I'm going to Florida in a couple weeks to Monument Tattoo in Tallahassee, and going to do a guest spot there for a week. The owner, Craig Beasley, is the person who apprenticed me, and so I make trips out there once or twice a year mostly to visit him, but I end up getting booked out and making some fun tattoos when I'm out there.
Can you talk about some tattoo artists that you look up to who inspire you right now?
Absolutely. Always number one, Chris Kahn. I'm really into Adam Warmerdam. He works down in Los Angeles at Dark Horse. His work is amazing. Valerie Vargas. Also Ed Hardy. Those would be probably my top four.
It's hard to just name off the top of your head.
Yeah, for sure.
So many out there that you're like, I like this guy, and this guy, and this guy, and this guy.
Yeah. Those would be the four that have the biggest impact on me artistically and the biggest influence on me. I definitely wouldn't be doing the tattoos that I do if it wasn't for them.
Do you know of any, do you even know of any personal favorites who are you consider to be up and coming guys?
Up and coming? No, but I feel like there's some people that are less known that are really, really good that have been tattooing longer than me. Like Dan Weissuff up in Santa Cruz, and who else? Oh, there's a guy named Chris Villiers in, I think that's how you pronounce his last name. He's a buddy of mine, but he works at Monument in Tallahassee. He does really nice work, and he puts a lot of heart into it, and I think people should check him out as well. He goes by Chris V.
I'll have to look him up on Instagram.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much all we have. Just
okay.
Quick conversation about your career and where you came from and what you enjoy doing. What do you do during your personal time?
Hang out with my wife and my dog. Go to the beach.
Fly drones.
Yeah. Been making videos and stuff, and flying drones.
Sounds like fun.
All that kind of stuff.
Hey, we appreciate you sitting down and talking with us. We're huge fans of your work, and we always look forward to new work coming out from you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming out and getting tattooed and including me in your interview. It's awesome.
I appreciate taking the time to talk with us.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.